winter storm for the upcoming weekend. We could see a big mess beginning on Saturday into Sunday, and even after the precip leaves, we may be dealing with icy conditions into Monday and Tuesday, as it will remain brittlely cold across our part of the Piedmont. Thank you for joining me here on WFMY Plus. This is just the first of many updates that we will be giving you through the next several days and really right on through the upcoming weekend. We want you to stay informed, and we want you to be informed on the possibility of a major winter storm. It's looking more and more likely for our part of the Piedmont. Let's jump in and talk about the graphics. We'll begin, first of all, not in effect now, but it will be for Saturday and Sunday, and potentially with leftover ice on Monday, we could extend this. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. But a weather impact alert will be in effect for the entire weekend, all of Saturday and all of Sunday. We're looking initially of snow moving in probably around midday on Saturday and really ramping up through the afternoon, but we think later in the evening and the overnight Saturday night and into Sunday, this could change over to a mixture of snow, sleet, and nasty freezing rain. Obviously, that would produce a lot of travel problems. If you got travel this weekend, I'd go ahead and consider canceling that. And also, this is very important. We need to be mindful that we could potentially have widespread power outages across the area, and we want you to be prepared for that. Get ready to maybe be stuck in your house for several days. So we'll be here to get you through all of this big mess, but just be aware that it looks more and more like this winter weather event is coming to our part of the Piedmont. Let's break it down. This is what we're looking at, a high-impact winter weather system. Again, thinking that it'll start out as snow on Saturday, gradually change over from south to north as a mixture of sleet, freezing rain, and some snow. We've kind of zeroed in on the time frame. We're thinking around midday and through the afternoon for the snow to begin, and then likely tapering off. Believe this, not until probably sometime late Sunday night. And again, our big concern is dangerous travel conditions and potentially widespread power outages that could last for many days. That's right. Many of you, if this plays out, you could have power outages for several days here in our part of the Piedmont. And let's expand on that just a little bit. We're telling you to start getting ready now. Make sure the cell phone is charged up. Make sure you got plenty of batteries. If you have any dead limbs in trees in your yard and you have an opportunity before Saturday, it may be a good idea to go ahead and cut those out of the trees, because obviously ice has a tremendous weight and that could cause some problems. But just think about this. 3, 4, maybe worst case scenario, 5 days or more without power. So not only without power, but many of you have electric heat, no way to heat your house. These are things that we got to really think about before the storm gets here, to be prepared for the dangerous situations and prolonged power outages, with the anticipation that we are going to see a good bit of icing across our part of the Piedmont on power lines, on trees. So certainly widespread power outages are a distinct possibility. So just go through your mind, talk to your family, and say, okay, we got this coming. Forecasters are telling us it's on the way. What do we do to protect ourselves and make sure we stay warm, and also we have some type of power source to stay in communication with the media? Because we got a big old generator and we're going to stay on the air regardless of what happens. So we'll be here for you and continue to keep you updated on things. So if you have maybe a battery TV, that's great. Of course, your computer, if you have a power source where you can operate your computer, you can certainly get information from us on there. So there are various ways that you can stay kind of hooked up with us as we go through this winter weather situation. Now, interestingly enough, in the short term, we're going to see some pretty nice weather. How about a nice warm-up over the next couple of days? Arctic high pressure has moved offshore. It is in a position now to warm us up. Today, with plenty of sunshine, we're on our way to the mid and upper 40s, but tomorrow, out ahead of an approaching cold front, we could be in the mid 50s on Thursday with a mix of sun and clouds. Now, that cold front is going to move through the area on Friday. Limited moisture, but we do have about a 30 to 40% chance of an isolated shower coming up on Friday. That front will move offshore, and here it comes, the brutally cold Arctic air moving down out of Canada. That high pressure will spread the much, much colder air into the eastern part of the United States, including the Piedmont Triad, as we go through the weekend, and it's going to be with us into early next week. So whatever type of wintry precipitation we get on Saturday and Sunday, it looks as though it may hang around for a while. Notice the tail end of that front goes along the Gulf Coast. Energy in the upper atmosphere is going to move out of California and head through the southern plains, and that's going to cause an area of low pressure to develop on the tail end of that front right near the Gulf of Mexico. So it's going to have an opportunity to really pull in a good bit of moisture. And here's the scenario. I'll turn this off so you can see this graphic a little bit better. But here's the low pressure developing on the tail end of that front and tracking our way. Now, already bitterly cold air will be in our part of the Piedmont beginning late Friday and really pouring in on Saturday. And this is going to be really kind of a tug of war between warm, moist air to our south and bitter cold Arctic air that's coming in from the north. And this is kind of the pattern that we quite often have when we have a winter weather situation. It's a battle zone between cold air and also warm, moist air. Now, the exact track of that low is going to be critical as to what type of precipitation we get. We're beginning to zoom in with our forecast models that this will start out as snow coming up on Saturday around midday and through the afternoon, with a changeover to more of a wintry mix as we head into Saturday night and during the day on Sunday. Let's talk about our GFS model and our European model. First of all, the GFS. Again, snow on Saturday. The atmosphere should be cold enough for that, but as various layers of the atmosphere try to warm up above the ground, we're going to stay in the 20s on the ground, but above the ground, as that low gets closer, it's going to try to warm up, and that's the reason we think we're going to see a changeover Saturday night and during the day on Sunday. Look at the trusty European model. It is suggesting after an onset of snow on Saturday, again, a changeover to sleet and very nasty and very dangerous freezing rain for us coming up on Saturday night and through the day on Sunday. Worst case scenario would be the ice. Snow we can handle, even sleet we can handle, but freezing rain is really the most dangerous situation that we have, and it is distinctly possible that this system may play out as a major ice storm for our part of the Piedmont after the initial snow on Saturday. We're 4 days out, so this is where we're at. We're zeroing in on the timing of the onset of snow on Saturday, midday and through the afternoon. Precipitation type, we're feeling a little bit better about that. Initially snow and then changing over to sleet, freezing rain, and some snow for Saturday night and during the day on Sunday. Now, what we're going to do later today and for tomorrow, we're going to put our heads together here at the Storm Center, and we're going to try to map out just how much wintry precipitation we're going to get. But I'll tell you what, with the different types of wintry precipitation, it's going to be really difficult to pinpoint amounts. I think the more important thing is that we're definitely going to have an accumulation of ice and snow. How much? Still in question. We're going to try to pin it down, but just know this is going to be a high impact weather system for us. And as we talked about earlier, get ready. We're all the way at the top of the board here. Get ready. Again, I'll repeat it. Keep the cell phone charged up. Also, make sure you got plenty of batteries, maybe a battery radio. More importantly, a battery TV or a source to maybe power your computer as well. All of those ways you can keep up with us here at WFMY News 2. And of course, as I said, we got a big generator here. So even if the power goes out in our neighborhood, we're going to be able to continue to broadcast. And keep in mind, prolonged power outages, many of you won't have any heat, and that is going to be really problematic for us. So again, just think and concentrate on how you should get ready for this winter weather, and of course we're going to continue to keep you updated. As I mentioned, in the short term, we're looking good. Sunshine, mid and upper 40s for us today. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, low and mid 30s, and tomorrow it's going to be fantastic. Yeah, we're going to see a partly cloudy sky on Thursday, and temperatures should make it into the mid-50s. That's going to be car wash day, but that's what I had planned. But with more winter weather on the way, I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. All important 7-day forecast. Cold front brings a chance of showers on Friday, and then behind that front, the Arctic air really starts to pour in. We think snow develops midday and through the afternoon on Saturday. A change over to sleet and freezing rain and snow. Nasty, nasty winter weather expected for Saturday night and through the day on Sunday. And look at to early next week with the frosty cold temperatures. We're expecting a low of 14 on Monday morning. Now, the precip will have ended, but what we get is going to be on the ground, and it's not going to go anywhere because Tuesday morning, we're going to have a low right around 9 above zero. So we're likely going to see several days after this event where we're dealing with icy roads and that nasty black ice here in our part of the Piedmont. That's what we're seeing right now. Make sure you tune in to WFMY News 2 at noon. I'll have an opportunity to at least look at the GFS model. It comes out just before the noon, so I'll be able to check that out and give you any updates on WFMY News 2 at noon. And of course, I'll be back at 1 o'clock with another update right here on WFMY Plus. I appreciate you being with us. Get prepared for a nasty weekend weather-wise here in the Piedmont. Have a great day. We'll be back at 1 o'clock and, of course, at noon as well. Take care.